Welcome back to Team O'Neill. I'm Wyatt. What we're going to look at today are easy ways to tell what direction you're headed as you're driving. You know, most people these days are so reliant on cell phones and other technology, GPS, and that once that goes away, they're completely lost. So it's really just a nice skill set to have, to know most of the time generally what direction you're headed, you know, north, south, east, west, based on, you know, super basic land nav, just looking around at things. But also, especially here in the US, our road systems are laid out super easy, so most of the time you can tell exactly where you're going. So let's take a look at really basic kind of navigation skills, sort of what to do when you get lost. Maybe you never need to use it, but it certainly doesn't hurt having that information kind of in the back of your mind. All right, so the number one easiest way to tell what direction you're headed, you know, if you're just lost in the woods somewhere, you're off-roading, you're on a really rural back road or something like that, where are you headed is simply just by the sun. Most people, I'm sure, are already aware that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, so if it's the morning and the sun's on your right, you're headed north. You know, if it's the evening and you're headed into the sun, you're headed west. That's really basic information, but you know, the middle of the day, kind of what do you do? Here in the northern hemisphere, the sun is never directly overhead, even at noon. You know, it's never going to cast a shadow perfectly underneath the vehicle. The sun tracks across the southern sky. The only place where it's really ever directly overhead is very close to the equator. Most of us in the world have a really easy time just knowing northern hemisphere, the sun tracks south, southern hemisphere, the sun tracks north. That makes it super easy to tell whether you're driving a vehicle, riding a bicycle, whatever you might be doing. You know, here we are in New Hampshire, the sun's directly that way. A little after 5 in the afternoon, that means west, north, east, south. There's a ton of other tricks, but that's by far the easiest one. Even on a cloudy day, you can almost always tell where the sun is at. You know, if it is terrible weather or it's just nighttime and you don't know the stars or something like that, another really easy way here in the United States is just basic understanding of our highway system. Whether you live here in America or maybe you plan on traveling here, the rule of thumb with American roads is odd numbered roads are north-south and even numbered roads are east-west. So if you're on Highway 93, that's a north-south route. If you're on Highway 302, that's an east-west route. That makes it a little easy, but then watch the mile markers as you're going by down the road. As you're traveling down a highway here in the US, if the mile markers are going up, you're either headed north or east. If those mile markers are counting down and getting lower, you're headed either west or south. So really just think about it as the mile markers are going up in the northeast and down in the southwest. If you lose cell phone signal, your battery dies, whatever it might be, you find yourself navigating off of a map and you need to get oriented pretty quickly, that's a super easy way to do it. Another really good rule of thumb with that same interstate system is the highway numbers are higher in the north and the east and lower in the south and the west. So the same idea. Here on the East Coast, you have, you know, 95, 91, 89, and all the way across the country till you get to California, all the way over to, you know, Route 5. And it's the same thing. Interstate 90 is the most northern cross-country route all the way down as you go. So, you know, if you end up in some crazy situation where, oh, here we are, we're at the junction of Route 40 and 55, you know you're going to be somewhere slightly in the south of the country and slightly to the east. Now at least you're roughly oriented, you can make some kind of a decision from there. If you do find yourself, you know, stranded, you're on a back road, you're really lost or something like that, always move to a bigger, more traveled road. If you're on a trail, get on a dirt road. If you're on a dirt road, get on a paved road. If you're on a paved road, get on a 2-lane to a highway or whatever it might be. Keep bumping up to larger and larger roads, and that's how you're going to orient yourself most quickly. If you find yourself lost on a dirt road and you're just arbitrarily taking turns or following your gut or doing what seems right, maybe you get out, who knows, it's a 50-50 chance. Always take the bigger, more obvious, better option. At least that'll get you to a main highway and you can use the rules we just talked about, or find civilization, a gas station, buy a map, whatever you might need to do, get a phone charger, bail yourself out. So hopefully you found this useful. It's a really nice, again, just a backup, plan C, plan D to have as far as rough navigation. Thank you as always for watching. If you're interested in different driving skills, please check out our YouTube channel and consider subscribing if you like what you see. If you're interested in high performance rally driving and kind of upping your skills actually behind the wheel as a driver, check out teamoneil.com. Have fun, be safe, and we'll catch you next time.